When I was 13, I snuck out with my boyfriend. We had heard about intercourse, and we knew it was kind of a thing to do. And so it
had never happened to either one of us before, and it was painful to her. And I had premature ejaculation, so
I really wasn't prepared for it, and when I started feeling all these new feelings, I just panicked.
It was certainly restricted by all the anxieties I was having before, and with it, and the relief that
I was disappointed that we didn't know what we were doing. It wasn't fun at all. It was kind of scary. The car was small.
I had a very difficult time even getting hard on.
Yeah, I'd been told by my friends, how it was and what was going to happen. And so I was definitely ready for it. I felt fine, I felt sort of more like a woman. And, I don't think I actually derived any great pleasure from the first time I had intercourse. It was more like something to be done. Like, for one thing, I was on my period at the time. I hadn't planned on having intercourse, and so I hadn't taken my Tampax out.
In all ages, in all cultures, since our evolution as a species, the principal result of sexual maturity has been sexual intercourse. But until quite recently, we've had no really accurate knowledge of what goes on before, during, and after intercourse, in the total process, which is now called the sexual response cycle.
Research has now shown that the sexual response cycle can be roughly divided into 4 phases: excitement, plateau, orgasm, and resolution. Obviously, many of the physical and psychological reactions and changes which make up each of these 4 phases are different in men and women. However, both men and women go through each of the 4 phases, and their end results are the same in both sexes.
I don't like the muscular Mr. America masculine types. They scare me.
You have to get along with the person verbally and stuff, but your first attraction to him is the way he looks.
The whole body excites me, basically. Yeah, I like everything from the top on down. You take the breast, you take the ass, you take anything, the legs, everything. It looks good.
And a guy walked through the door, and he had terribly long legs, and he just really turned me on. He was very tall, and he had very long legs. And
kind of petite breasts. And petite primarily all over. And she has a kind of a sexy look. What it is, I'm not sure, but it's a sexy look, and I know what it is when I see it. But
for the first time, or see a man for the first time, I will look near the genitals. I also will watch his walk. I think a man's hips, or a man with a little bit of hips when he walks is attractive.
Although I might have strange tastes in what I consider good looks, it's always somebody that I consider as fairly good looking that I'm sexually attracted to.
A large penis attracts me, yeah.
People are turned on by legs, people are turned on by breasts. I don't know what turns me on.
There isn't anything in particular that makes somebody attractive to me. It's just their total look.
In both men and women, the stimuli which initiate the excitement phase are quite similar: mutual attraction, an erotic train of thought, physical stimulation of the body's erogenous zones or of the genital organs themselves. The man is often the first to react, apparently because, at first, he's more sensitive to a greater variety of sexual stimuli. When a man becomes sexually excited, blood rushes into the chambers in the spongy erectile tissues in his penis. More blood flows in than flows out, a process known as engorgement or vasocongestion. As the chambers fill with blood, the penis becomes both longer and bigger around. When the erectile tissues are completely engorged, the penis, now stiff, hard, and erect, may be twice as large or more than it was when unexcited.
Engorgement and vasocongestion are also part of a woman's first reactions to excitement. Her nipples harden and become erect, and the areola, the area around them, begins to swell. The tissues surrounding the vagina also become engorged with blood. Then lubricating fluid passes through the tissues and coats the vagina's inner walls. The vagina lengthens slightly, and its diameter increases greatly, to perhaps as much as 3 times its unstimulated size. Vasocongestion also makes the inner and outer lips swell and spread apart slightly. and it causes the clitoris to enlarge.
At the same time, the skin of the man's scrotum tightens, and the seminal ducts shorten, pulling his testicles closer to his body. As mutual excitement increases, there's an increase in muscular tension, pulse rate, and blood pressure in both the man and the woman.
As the man and the woman achieve maximum arousal and begin sexual intercourse, they enter the plateau phase of the cycle. Their rates of breathing, pulse rates, and blood pressure all continue to increase, and the times at which their individual reactions occur are more nearly parallel now.
The penis reaches its maximum size and elevation. The testes become as much as 50% larger than when they're unstimulated and are drawn up even closer to the body.
However, the clitoris shortens by as much as 50% and seems to retract into the clitoral hood. But it's still highly sensitive to the stimulation caused by the thrusting of the penis. The areola of each breast continues to swell, making the erect nipples almost seem to disappear.
Foreplay makes me want more.
It's very enjoyable. By getting your partner ready, you get yourself ready at the same time. But at the same time, it's exciting your whole body. It's a very enjoyable act.
There are times, and there are sex partners with whom it's very much prolonged and will deliberately prolong.
I feel very good, especially when it comes to necking and biting on the neck and that type of thing, because it's always just a real good feeling that you would like to be able to prolong. And
caressing, I like to prolong it to a point, but after a while it becomes almost too much to be able to take.
I enjoy the foreplay and the female's attention to my body.
It's the most gentle part and can be very stimulating. It definitely leads up to the whole act.
For me, it has tremendous beauty. It's a very wonderful part of the sexual feeling.
Time to be enjoyed, and I lose touch with feeling strangeness between my partner and myself.
During foreplay, I get very excited. Someone usually touches me, and I get so excited that I can't wait to have sex. I don't want to delay it.
it kind of gives it a little extra pizzazz, makes it more worth the time than just hopping in and hopping out.
They're very happy, enjoyable feelings that I have.
Voluntary and involuntary muscles contract and become rigid.
A change called the orgasmic platform occurs. The tissues surrounding the outer third of the vagina engorge with blood. This reduces the vagina's diameter at this point by as much as 50%. The vagina grips the penis harder, adding to the couple's feelings of pleasure. Some fluid from the man's Cowper's gland may come from his penis. Though this fluid is not ejaculated like the semen, it may contain viable sperm, capable of impregnating the woman.
Now, as each one's tissues are fully engorged, each one's muscles fully tensed, each one's nerves fully stimulated, both the man and the woman are ready for orgasm.
I don't think I really want it to last forever because it's too intense. Like, I don't think my body could take that intenseness for too long of a period.
I am it, and then there's everything else, but there's me first, then everything else. That's the feeling that you get at the time of orgasm.
Well, I'm satisfied as long as during intercourse it's been an enjoyable experience, just being with him.
I just feel great. I feel like a whole lot of things have just come together.
It's just like your whole insides just flow out, and it's just ecstasy.
If my partner is climaxing and I'm not, I feel resentful. I know that once he's come and he's soft, I won't be able to come, and I'll be frustrated.
I feel very close to my partner and very pleased and happy with him the moment I have orgasm.
In both a man and woman, the basic physical aspects of orgasm are a series of involuntary muscular contractions about 4/5 of a second apart.
In the man, the penis and the internal genital organs undergo these contractions in 2 stages. Sperm has already been transported from the epididymis to the vas deferens. When the first stage of orgasm occurs, the seminal vesicles contract rhythmically, forcing their secretions into the urethra. Simultaneously, the prostate gland contracts rhythmically. Its fluid also enters the urethra and combines with the sperm to form semen. The semen is collected in an elastic bulb near the base of the penis. It's during these events that the man has the feeling of approaching orgasm. In the second stage, the bulb and the penis itself contract rhythmically, ejaculating the semen from the penis through the urethral opening.
During a woman's orgasm, her vagina undergoes a similar series of rhythmic contractions, though she doesn't ejaculate any fluid. These contractions often begin with an initial spasm, then occur regularly at 4/5 of a second intervals, just as a man's do. However, a man and a woman don't always experience orgasm at the same moment, nor do they have to, for complete satisfaction. In a few moments, the contractions of both the penis and the vagina begin to decrease in frequency and intensity as the couple enter the resolution phase of the cycle.
After orgasm, I like to just sort of lie there with my partner and, close to him and hold him for a few minutes and then just sort of maybe go to sleep or whatever, depending upon what time of day it is.
I'm not consciously aware of her at that point as much as I'm just sort of sensing a presence and letting my mind drift.
After screwing, I just want to be by myself. I want to be in my own little world.
The first time I have intercourse with a guy, I am relieved that the whole thing is over, because you're worried. I had a kind of bad experiences at first where the guys really criticized me.
Immediately after orgasm, each man experiences a refractory period, during which he is incapable of reaching another orgasm for some time. The duration of this refractory period varies with individuals from a few minutes to a half hour or more. Usually it lengthens somewhat as a man grows older.
People used to think it was the same with women. But now research has shown that if women are properly stimulated, they're capable of having 2, 3, 4, even 5 or 6 additional orgasms within a matter of minutes. Many women find difficulty in reaching orgasm. Sometimes poor technique on the part of the inexperienced male is the cause.
Another myth said that the bigger a man's penis was, the better he performed during intercourse. Research has also proven this false by showing that a vagina can expand or contract to accommodate a penis of virtually any size, with no loss of pleasure or stimulation for the man or the woman.
It's not always easy, or even possible, to divide the sexual response cycle neatly into its 4 phases of excitement, plateau, orgasm, and resolution. They occur at different times, and in different ways in different people, and always they blend into one another.
There is room and need for wide variation and much individual adjustment of timing, technique, tenderness, and many, many other factors which only you and your partner can know about.
When people are able to make these adjustments, or at least a reasonable number of them, their sex lives can become more and more fulfilling and rewarding as they grow older, with no loss of ability to have and enjoy sexual intercourse.
Between the ages of 40 and 55, usually a woman goes through the menopause. Because of changes in her ovaries and changes in the balance of sex hormones secreted by her pituitary, she is no longer able to become pregnant. This temporary hormonal imbalance and psychological conditioning may cause some extreme swings in her emotions and behavior for a time. But going through the menopause does not mean that a woman's life as a sexual being is over. Despite some gradual decline in her and her partner's physical abilities as they grow older, many women say that their sex life improves after the menopause, since they are now free of the fear of unwanted pregnancy.
Age isn't the end of a person's sex life. It just marks a new phase. From the moment of conception to the instant of death, our lives as sexual beings are endless, constantly evolving, continuously one of the most significant ways in which we can become and remain complete human beings.